Hello, happy Monday, sixth graders. Nice to see you here in Chumash class. We have now finished Parshat Bo, and we're moving on to Parshat Bishalach. Now, I know your packet says Perek Yud Daled, but it's actually a little confusing because the very beginning of the next Parsha really starts at the end of Perek Yud Gimel. However, it continues into Perek Yud Daled. So we put it all together in just one packet. So actually, your first lesson today for Perek Yud Daled is not actually in Perek Yud Daled. It's the last few psukim of Perek Yud Gimel. But we are in a new parsha. We're now in Parshat Bishalach. Bnei Yisrael have left Mitzrayim. They've traveled to the city of Sukkot, where they camped out their first night of freedom. And now they're on their way. What's going to happen next? Gee, I wonder. Let's get started with Parshat Bishalach. Today, you had translated Perek Yud Gimel, Psukim Yud Zayin through Chaf Bet, which is giving us a little bit more details about the route that Bnei Yisrael took when they left Egypt. We're going to be looking at a few maps over the next few days, so I hope some of you are map people. I know I got really excited by it. Here we go. Pasuk Yud Zayin. Vayehi v'shalach Paro et ha'am, and it was when Paro sent out the nation, velo nacham Elokim. God did not nacham lead them, derech eretz Plishtim, towards the land of the Plishtim, the Philistines, which were another nation at the time, ki karovhu, which was nearby, even though it was nearby. Ki amar Elokim, because God said, Pen yinachem ha'am birotam milchama v'shavu mitzrayma. Lest, or God forbid, what should happen? The nation will yinachem, they will reconsider when they see birotam, when they see war in the lands of the Plishtim, and then they will want to return to Egypt. So let's take a look at the map here, because this is important. We need to be able to visualize it. This is a map that you might recognize. It's hanging on the back wall of our classroom. It was going to be very, very useful for this stage, but Baruch Hashem, I was able to find it online and reproduce it for you here. Okay, so just to give you an overview of what you're looking at. This right here, this is Canaan. This is what we call Eretz Yisrael, all the way down to about here. The modern boundaries of Israel go to about here, all right? And then up until around here. Down here you have like Eilat, if you've ever been there. Okay, then we've got some desert area, and then we've got Egypt. Now, this desert area was not abandoned. This is where the Plishtim lived. And we actually know this because back in the day of Yitzchak, when Yitzchak was leaving Eretz Canaan and going to Egypt, just like his father did, Hashem tells him to stop and live in the land of the Plishtim for a while because Yitzchak was going from here, from Canaan, to Egypt. And the Plishtim are here in the middle, somewhere along the coast of the Yam HaGadol, which we now know as the Mediterranean. We now call it the Mediterranean. Okay? So if the Jews were leaving Egypt from here, what would be the most direct route to get to the Promised Land, to get to Eretz Canaan, like Hashem said? Let's take a look at it just a little bigger. All right? If they're starting here in the city of Ramses in Egypt, and then the first night they camp out here in Sukkot, you would expect probably the easiest and fastest route would be a straight shot east into Eretz Canaan, straight through the land of the Plishtim. But as Pasuk Yud Zayin just told us, Hashem did not take them derech eretz Plishtim ki karofu. Even though the land of the Plishtim was closer, it was the faster route, Hashem didn't take them that way. Why? Because Hashem was worried that if they passed through the land of the Plishtim and encountered war and battle there, they might want to say, who needs this? Eretz Canaan's not worth it. Let's turn back and go to Egypt. This actually ties back in very nicely with what we learned back around Sukkot's time, with that feeling of uncertainty, that feeling of who knows what's going to happen. We've just lost all of our stability. Yes, we were slaves, but we had a stable life. right? If Hashem took them straight into war, things would have looked pretty bad. So Hashem said, I'm dafka, bishita, on purpose, I'm going to take them a different way. I'm going to take them the southern route. I'm going to take them down through the desert, and let's take a look at Pasuk Yirchet. Vayasev Elokim et ha'am derech hamidbar Yam Suf. Hashem took them around the desert towards Yam Suf. Again, let's take a look back. Instead of going straight east to Eretz Canaan, Hashem says, let's take them by way of the Yam Suf, which is over here, to the south of Egypt. Let's take them along this coast. Instead of the coast of the Mediterranean, the Yam HaGadol, let's take them along the coast of the Yam Suf, sometimes also called the Sea of Reeds, through the desert. So Hashem takes them down this southern route. Now, this section of the map, we're going to discuss a little bit more tomorrow. So just so you know, heads up. By the way, if you're interested in a much more detailed map that gives you quotes from the Torah and shows you different routes of other people in Tanakh in this area of the world, I'll put it in Google Classroom. There's a fabulous resource I found. It is beautiful and detailed and in color, and I'll just give you a little bit of a preview here. For example, Brit Bein Habatarim was given to Avram here. When Yaakov and his family went to Mitzrayim, they went this way, right? The more direct route. But Bnei Yisrael, when they left, they went, this red arrow is their route, right? This word Masa means the travels or the route. They show you how Moshe Rabbeinu went when he left Egypt and then he came back. It's beautiful. This map, this arrow of purple of Paro and his army, this is going to become relevant in just a few more lessons. So this is a beautiful map. I'll leave the link to it on Google Classroom. If you're into maps and timelines and stuff like that, it could be a really cool resource to look at. But anyways, back to our slides. So Pasuk Yirchet, we started. Hashem took them around the desert by way of the Yam Suf. And continuing in Yirchet, V'chamushim alu b'nei Yisrael Mitzrayim. And b'nei Yisrael rose or left Egypt, chamushim. I'm deliberately not translating this word because we're doing a Rashi on it today. And as you saw in your Milon on page 3, it was also not translated. So we'll take a look at chamushim in a moment. Let's just finish the pshat. Yetet, vayikach Moshe et atzmot Yosef imo. Moshe took the bones of Yosef with him. Remember, Yosef, who had been the second in command in Egypt, was buried in Egypt. And now was the time for them to take Yosef out of Egypt and bury him back in his homeland in Eretz Canaan. Why? Why did Moshe do this? Ki hashbeya hishbiya et bnei Yisrael lemor. Hashbeya hishbiya. You know the shorish there is shin bet ayin, means a swear, a promise, an oath, because they had promised Bnei Yisrael, because Bnei Yisrael had promised this to Yosef. Lemor, when it was said, and this is now a reference back to what Yosef had told them before he had died. Pakod yifkod Elokim etchem. Hashem will definitely remember you. Remember, we have 3 different meanings of pakod. So now this is the one that means remember. Yosef said, Hashem will definitely remember you guys. And when Hashem does remember you to take you out of Egypt, please take my bones with you. So here you have the bones of Yosef are now finally leaving Eretz Yisrael and on Eretz Canaan. Eretz Mitzrayim, and on their way to Eretz Yisrael. Pasuk Chaf. Vayisu meSukkot. They traveled from the city of Sukkot. Vachanu be'etam, and they camped in the city of Etam, Biktsei Hamidbar, at the edge of the desert. Again, taking a quick look back here, this is Etam. Okay, it's at the very edge of the desert, right? The northern edge, all the way on the west. Okay, this is Etam, just a short distance from Sukkot. So, of Aleph, V'Hashem holech lifneihem yomam ba'amud anan. Hashem walked before them during the day in a pillar of cloud. Lan chotam haderech, in order to show them the way, to lead them. Vilaila, and at night, ba'amud esh, in a pillar of fire, leha'ir lahem lalechet yomam v'laila, to light the way if they were walking by night or by day. And then the Torah finishes off Perek Gimel by telling us a little more about these guiding clouds, these GPS kinds of clouds and fire. The lo yamish amud ha'anan yomam, that the pillar of cloud did not move during the day, meaning it didn't leave them at all. Obviously, it moved if they were meant to follow it as the GPS, but it didn't leave them. Va'amud ha'esh laila. And the same thing was true of the pillar of fire. It didn't leave them. It stayed with them the whole time, ufnei ha'am, before the nation. All right, let's get back to this funny word. Actually, not yet. Let's first take a look a little bit at your chover at page 4. Please pause the video after I explain the instructions. What I'd like you to do, please, is translate these words from Pasuk Yerchet. Vayasev Elokim et ha'am derech midbar Yam Suf. Explain Madua Shalach Hashem et ha'am b'derech hazot, and Satet. Why did Hashem take the nation in this route? And explain why. Use a quote from the Psukim. I'll give you a hint. It's not found in Pasuk Yerchet. You'd have to look in one of the other Psukim you read today. And then the next pasuk that you're looking at is V'lo nacham Elokim derech aretz plishtim ki karov hu ki amar Elokim pen yirachem ha'am berotam melchama v'shavu mitzrayma. That's pasuk Yud Zayin. I want you to look at this pasuk and please answer l'da'atcha, in your opinion, why would they be scared? Halo heim yadu shehashem haya imahem. Wouldn't they know by this point that Hashem was with them? Like, why is Hashem completely messing up the most direct route to get to Eretz Canaan to avoid scaring Bnei Yisrael off? Like, hi, they just saw the 10 makot. That should be enough for them to no longer be scared. Okay, so in your opinion, why are they scared? And Gimel, Ma'av Shar Lumod Matzav Harigshi Shalahem. What can we learn about their emotional state at this time? This is now one day after Yetziat Mitzrayim. What can we learn about how they were feeling at this point in time? So please pause the video here, answer these questions on page 4. And we're back. So this first pasuk at the top means Hashem took the nation around in the direction of the desert and the Yam Suf. Why did Hashem send them this way? According to pasuk Yud Zayin, it tells us, Pen yinachem ha'am berotam melchama v'shavu Mitzrayim. Hashem wanted to take them this way, lest they see war in the land of the Plishtim and want to return to Egypt. Now, these last two, I didn't write any answers because as long as you can back it up, I'm sure it's good. I'd love to hear some of your answers in the comments as well on the Google Classroom. My basic answer is Bnei Yisrael are feeling very uncertain, right? In my opinion, Bnei Yisrael, even after they've seen all that Hashem has done for them, they're very, very uncertain at this time. And we even know that from later on in the Torah. There are times when they doubt Hashem. Like, yes, they just witnessed all these miracles, but they have many, many, many years of slavery and servitude to get out of their psyche, out of their head. And this is going to take time. It's a process. And Hashem realizes that. So Hashem is trying to acknowledge their fears by saying, okay, let's slow it down. Let's not take them straight through into battle. The potential, war with the Plishtim. Let's give them a little bit of time to experience being free. If you have any other ideas, I'd love to hear it. All right, this funny word chamushim. The Bnei Yisrael left chamushim, the word we did not explain. Rashi asks the exact same question. What does this word mean? And Rashi gives us two answers, the pshat and the midrash. So Rashi first does pshat. Let's take a look together on page 5. Ein chamushim ela mizuyanim. The word chamushim can only mean armed. Mizuyanim means armed, like they had weapons with them. V'chein hu omer, just like it says elsewhere in the Torah, in Tanakh, va'atem ta'avru chamushim. Where does this come from? Look in the parentheses. It comes from Yehoshua, right? When Yehoshua is taking over for Moshe, Hashem tells him, you guys will cross the Yarden, chamushim, armed, right? To be prepared for battle when you enter and conquer the land. Davar acher, another thing Rashi says, this is his second answer, and this comes more from the Medrash and less from the Pshat, right? It's not finding another use of the word in Tanakh. It's now tapping into Midrash a little bit. Chamushim means echad mechamisha yatzu. This is for the math people. That 1 in 5 people left. And Rashi gets this from the shorish of the word chamushim is chamesh, which means 5. Only 1/5 of the Israelites left, leaving how many behind? The arba chalakim metu, and 4/5 of Bnei Israel died. B'shloshet yimei afela. You guys remember this? During the 3 days of darkness at the start of Makkah Choshech. Remember back at Makkah Choshech when Rashi says it was split up into 2 sets of 3 days, and the first 3 days were so dark that they couldn't see, so that Bnei Israel wouldn't be embarrassed when some of them, the disbelievers, died. Rashi's connecting it here and telling us we now know how many of them died. 4/5 of Bnei Israel died during Makkah Choshech because only chamushim, only 1/5 of them, 1/5 of them came out at the end. That's a huge number of Israelites who died during Makkah Choshech. It's beyond the majority. So that's actually kind of heartbreaking if you think about how many Israelites died and never made it out of Egypt. And they died because of their own sin, because they didn't believe in Hashem and they weren't worthy of leaving. Crazy. And in this cool way, Rashi is able to connect this word chamushim back to the midrash he quoted all the way back at Makkah Choshech. Okay, take a look at page 5. You have some questions here. Number 1, Al Ezer Sheila Oner Rashi. What's Rashi's question? 2, Be'elu milim omer Rashi shehu notein otshuva. With which words, this is your quoting from Rashi, does Rashi tell us that he's giving a new answer, another answer? And then you're going to fill in this chart. According to the Pshat, what does chamushim mean, says Rashi's answer, and maha basis l'tshuva hazot. What's the basis for this answer? Why can Rashi say this? Right? What's Rashi's proof? And then according to the Midrash, what's Rashi's answer? What does this word mean? And what's the basis for this? Please pause and come back when you're done to check the answers together. All right, what's Rashi's question? What does chamushim mean? It's not a word that's frequently found in the Torah. And Rashi uses the words davar acher to tell us he's going to give another answer to the same question. According to Pshat, chamushim means armed. And Rashi knows this because there are other places in Tanakh where this word is used to mean armed. It's pretty good proof. It's almost like looking it up in a dictionary. According to the Midrash, what does chamushim mean? 1/5. And what is Rashi basing this on? The shorish of the word is chamesh, 5. And Rashi connects it to his previous perush on Makkah Choshech, where he describes some Jews died during Makkah Choshech. All right, very good. Please complete the check for understanding on Google Classroom. You will have a Shorashim quiz this Friday of the Shorashim on page 2. So please be prepared for that. And I will see you all tomorrow.